Hello fellow Total Warriors, I am Zardar and welcome to another online battle from Warhammer 2. So this time we're playing again as Bretonnia and we're up against Norsca, which is almost an impossible task. Like everybody gives this match like 10% chance for Bretonnia to actually win, and I think it's actually true. Like, I've had a lot of trouble finding an actual build that can work. It's still this battle is not that great as in terms of a build. I'm still trying to find something decent to have against the Norscan faction, but I think it's a long way to go. But this is a good start. You're gonna see a pretty decent build over here. So I get 1 unit of Grail Knights and 1 unit of Questing Knights, because I need that anti-infantry. There, actually the Questing Knights are quite great, just charging in the front lines, just holding the enemy in place as long as the rest of the Bretonnian peasant forces are retreating. Because you charge in with them, then the peasants are gonna rally and you just pull them out, send the other boys, and you somehow just fill in the gaps that are created by the cheap spearmen, I mean cheap peasants that have really low morale. 2 units of peasant bowmen with pox arrows, because I need that poison into any monster that can actually hit like track. 2 units of foot squires, 3 units of men-at-arms with pole arms, and I really think these guys are quite some MVPs in this matchup. 2 units of men-at-arms with shields, some spearmen, and I got 4 units of mounted yeoman archers along with the Wanderers of Montfort hidden in the back, because you never expect Bretonnia to just come and vanguard on you when as Norsca you have wolves and stuff like that, which can't actually vanguard, just in any case you're wondering. And yeah, just countering like freaking Marauder Horsemen, I thought they would be quite fine. So for my opponent, 2 units of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, as you can see. Some skin wolves actually, armored, no Fimir, quite weird from his part. Some Marauders in the front line to soak up the damage. Some Marauder Champions, these guys will just chop through everything from my line, and they will actually be quite steady holding the line, because they have a high melee defense, if I'm correct. Yeah, 55 melee defense, that's a lot. A unit of Fimir Belfin with shadows for Pendulum and Fibbling 4, I guess, and Miasma for that cavalry. Oh, he actually brought all the magic. I don't know what he was thinking. Alright, so Wulfric the Wanderer over here on top of his steed with that boat effect. Seafang, now I remember the name. The Hunter of Champions and the Sword of Torgald for that plus 75% weapon damage, which is freaking insane. And also a Feral Mammoth, which got anti-infantry, armor piercing, and also freaking causes terror, which is a problem with Bretonnia peasantry. Some Norscan Ice Wolves, as I can see here, and another one in the back. So let's get on with it and let's see how it goes. So immediately, as soon as I see that he's just coming into the front line to harass me, I'm just gonna open fire, and these guys are gonna melt within a few seconds. Do the pox arrows do? Yeah, they get 20 missile damage. It's quite decent. So just a few volleys over here, just gonna cut him down. A pendulum going on my men-at-arms, quite a misplay over there. He should have gone for the foot squires, if you ask me. And then as soon as his forces march in front of me, I'm just gonna send my whole front line in order to just engage over here. And I'm actually not gonna engage this one. I'm gonna try to keep it quite packed up. I'm just gonna send these polearms into the front line, just keep the foot squires onto the flanks. My cavalry is gonna stay in the back protecting, but this is where it gets really juicy, because he misplayed his Feral Mammoth back here, so I was able to just get with my archers, just get some good shots. And as you can see, even with just 4 freaking mounted yeoman archers, this thing is not gonna go down easily. Over here I'm obstructed. I have both of the units into just one packed formation. I'm just gonna relieve them from that. I'm just gonna go a little bit wider so they can get some better shots in. Over here the Norscan Ice Wolves are gonna try to come into the back line. The foot squires are holding the Marauders onto this flank, and the other guys have gone into the front line fight. And yeah, is it the Questing Knights? Yeah, the Questing Knights are here. These guys are, well, they're large, so they won't have an easy time, but they will be able to do it. They're gonna get the charge last minute, because I was just well, I gave them the order to attack, but for some reason it counted as a walking parameter, so yeah, they didn't do that well. So I should have counter-attacked with the Grail Knights over here, but the Questing Knights were closer, so that's what I get. Over here in the middle I was engaging with the Marauders, but Wulfric just came, popped his abilities and just gave the business to the Fey Enchantress. Unfortunately, the front line on this flank is totally collapsing, which I really don't know the reason. Like, come on, you got beat down so easily. Just the Foot Squires holding for the moment. And the Norscan Ice Wolves have been driven back. The balance of power heavily against my favor. Let me see, have I... no, I've still not unblocked these guys, they're still blocked up. I mean, I gave the order for them just to come here, I don't know why they ended up like this. Anyway, the Grail Knights are just gonna take care of these Skin Wolves immediately. They're gonna be able to get the charge, because my opponent was actually sleeping over here. So they're gonna deal with that nonsense quite early, but as you can see, as usual, the front line of Bretonnia is collapsing. At least I'm destroying the periphery. Like these Marauder Horsemen are pretty much gone. The Fimir, the Skin Wolves will be gone. The Archers are just, as I said, cleaning this one up. Over here, as I said, yeah, I just unblocked them, so they're now getting better shots in, because before they were blocked up, so not a lot of shots counted. I'm not gonna allow this thing to come closer. As you can see, just with one strike over there, he managed to get three models, so that's quite a lot. Back here, I'm just retreating with my archers. As soon as I see him coming into the front line, I sent the Questing Knights just to hold him in place for a little bit. Gonna try to pull out with the Fey Enchanters, because I see that the Hunter of Champions has been dropped on me. I'm just gonna try to buy him enough time for these rallying forces to come back. I'm gonna get the charge with the Questing Knights over here to stop them. Finally, the Men-at-Arms are gonna come here. These guys will be able to turn around anytime soon as these forces are engaged. The Foot Squires are still into the front line. Where are the other ones? Have they really been beaten down? Like, seriously, where are the other... okay, they were finally... they were probably just killing somebody, and they overchased. I was quite busy just trying to hold my front line together, which I totally forgot about these guys. I was just trying to, you know, rally the retreating units. So over here, the Feral Mammoth is being taken down by the Feral Mammoth, and so you remember, if you do the same strategy with the Mounted Yeoman Archers, just always freaking remember to go with, what's it called? Oh, to go wide. Don't blow up your Mounted Yeoman Archers, because they won't get numerous shots in. And as you saw there, it took me like a whole minute to just take him down to 80% health, and as soon as I unblocked up with my units, it's almost down to like 5% health. So over here my rallying forces have come back. I sent Faye in there to just cast the Mist of the Lady. Over here I'm gonna get a side charge with the Grail Knights, which have finished up the Skin Wolves, and these Marauder Champions are gonna suffer some really heavy damage. And my archers are still safe, because I was just trying to retreat. As soon as I see he's gonna try again to come to my archers, I'm just gonna send the Questing Knights over here. I'm gonna fail a little bit, because it's actually 2 units, so I'm just gonna keep getting back, just avoid this guy. And if he wants to come, yeah, I'm sending these polearms also just to hold them in place. The front line also breaks again, but finally my Foot Squires have caught up. These guys will also be coming back anytime soon, and some other polearms are coming back as well. I get this Chalice of Potions over here because it was just my Grail Reliquary fighting all alone, and it was just a huge blob of Marauders over here, so that's gonna most likely break their morale over here. So finally the Feral Mammoth is dead, and the Mounted Yeoman Archers are gonna come to the rescue of the rest of the Bretonnian force, which is at a disarray at the moment. I think I should find another way, at least just make the front line more durable. And I think a lot has to do with the Festag update. As soon as it drops and the Grail Reliquary gets a buff, which is I think plus 10 meter radius, I think it's gonna be a lot easier. I think the way to go in this matchup is just a few men-at-arms with polearms, a few Foot Squires, sever them up. Don't get like men-at-arms that are just cheap crap that are gonna waver within the first second. Actually get a couple just to protect your flanks from skirmishers. Just soak up the damage, but the really heavy duty soldiers are gonna be the polearms and the Foot Squires most likely, because of that armor piercing and the rest of the abilities. So I'm still able to keep my archers somewhat healthy. As you can see, he really hasn't done pretty much to my archers. Okay, this is the first time that he actually managed to get in my back, but I have the Grail Knights over here, which are probably chasing somebody at the moment. As soon as I realize what's going on, I'm just gonna get the charge over here. The mounted yeoman archers are coming to the rescue. The Grail Reliquary is going down, unfortunately, but it's not a big deal. The mounted yeoman archers are arriving, and these marauders are just getting picked apart. The Grail Reliquary has actually gone down, not a big deal. And the balance of power actually shifts massively in my favor, and the victory is gonna go to me. So I don't think my opponent was like a really high competitive player, but it was a nice build. It was pretty much what you expect from Norsca, except you actually expect Fimir with anti-large, because they're just excellent at fighting the Grail Knights and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it was a good indication of how to play. I think next time it should be these archers. Yes, I don't know if I need so many mounted yeoman archers, and I think I need something to protect them. So I don't know, and actually just keep them in my backline. I don't think I need to go into the backline of my enemy. A lot has to do with my questing knights, Grail Knights, being able to protect my flanks. If I got these two boys just protecting the left and right, these guys can just remain in the middle, and if they get if somebody gets within my lines, I can just run away, because they're quite fast. So overall we did great. The front line didn't do that well, except the foot squires, but they were engaged in the wrong situations. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. I think I needed just one more foot squire to hold the tide into the middle. I think that's what we needed, because these guys don't waver that much, especially when a Grail Reliquary is present and with the Fey Enchantress also fighting besides them. For my opponent, quite a nice build. I think you also you always need Fimir with anti-large, so that was quite of a misplay. I don't know if you actually need the mammoth, but yeah. So I really hope you enjoyed, guys. I'm still gonna try to find a solution to this, because I really like the tough matchups. Like you've seen a lot of matchups between Greenskins and Tomb Kings lately, and that's because I'm trying to find the perfect build, to find the perfect solutions to go after the hard matchups, which is, yeah, Greenskins against Tomb Kings, which is a pretty much hard counter. And the same goes for Bretonnia and Norsca. So yeah, as soon as I found something out, I'm just gonna give you a go of another battle. Anyway, as I said, I really hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like or a comment. Feel free to subscribe if you're not, and I'm gonna be seeing you next time. Bye bye.